The reason your deals fall apart is because you are rushing and you're not qualifying clients, your prospect, before you put a deal together. You think that, okay, I know what the deal needs to be and I know what needs to be done in order to get a deal done, and I'm just going to get it done. And you forget that your client, it might be a first-time buyer or a first-time seller. They don't know what you know. They need a little bit extra hand-holding. They need a little bit extra explanation. And most importantly, sometimes they just need to hear and to know that you understand where they are. And sometimes you can say things that are important, but then they also say, I understand you also are just starting out and you're also doing this for the first time, so I'm not sure how comfortable you are. The most important thing is that you're not qualifying before you put the deal on the contract. A lot of times when it's almost done deal, I usually call my client and say, how comfortable are you with moving forward? Is any other thoughts that you may have? Anything that would reserve you? Anything that you think that's in the back of your mind that maybe you overslept on it and today is a different day than yesterday that we were negotiating. Today is the day we're going to be signing. Are you still confident? Do you want to move forward? Anything that it still kind of confuses you, or maybe is there anything that you would like to change? One time I remember one of my clients said, well, it is what it is. I'll agree. And I'm like, I don't like the voice. I like your voice. And he's yeah, I wish it was a little bit more. And I'm like, let's try it. Let's see if we can maybe squeeze a little bit more. And we tried and we did. So the most important thing is to listen to your clients. Even though if we wouldn't get it, he would have still remembered that I tried because I heard his feelings. I heard what he was trying to communicate. And I kind of paid a little bit more attention, not just on the deal, but on him. So that's the most important thing. Not qualifying the clients is very important because not everybody wants to buy a house 100%. Sometimes they're like 70% in there. And so if you are rushing through the deal, you're going to be canceling the deal. Also, when you are rushing through the transaction, meaning don't look at that, this is no big deal, this is no big deal. You know it's no big deal, but they don't know it's no big deal. So you have to kind of slow down a little bit, take a step back, work your way through it. Don't skip through steps because then you trip and then you have to start over again. You're not asking enough questions, meaning you're not focusing on their emotions, you're not focusing on their feelings. This is where everything starts making sense. As soon as they realize that you're there for their happiness, for their success, that's when things start to fall into place, and sometimes they'll lead you without you don't have to lead them. And a lot of times, I already touched on it a little bit, leading the client, even though I'm saying do not rush and do not speed and do not go through the transaction without asking too many questions, but they need to be led. So a lot of times your deals fall apart, but sometimes they never even come together because you're not leading the client. Some clients need to hear from you. Would you like to move forward? Feels like there's something on your mind. Would you like to talk about it? What is there that's stopping you? They're gonna start answering that question, and maybe that's something you can overcome, or maybe that's something that, okay, that's not the right house, that's not the right deal. Not every deal needs to be saved. That's one thing, but a lot of times deals shake for no reason. So we're here to step in and we're here to lead the transaction, the client, the whole experience. So if we can control the conversation, meaning that you need to take charge. What's the next step? Next step is to write an offer. Next step is, for example, to start booking an appointment to meet and for a consultation. You can't just have the conversation go nowhere for a long time. They feel like you don't know the structure. You have to be leading the conversation slowly, but also pay attention, like, how's everything? Does everything make sense? Do you have any questions that you would like me to address more? Sometimes when they say, no, don't worry, like, I'm good, I understand. Like, you don't have, like, I had a client who asked me, why you keep asking me if I want the house? Like, you keep talking me away from the house. Like, no, I just want to make sure that's the one you want. You're securing your deals. A lot of times also when you're going to be going after listing agents and asking them questions and trying to convince them to take your offer, a lot of times you're going to be going a little bit, you try of course to get the house, and you're going to be, saying things that are going to make them more confident in your client, but your client is not confident. So what you need to do is to go back to a client and ask them, how confident are you? How from 0 to 10, how confident are you about the house? I'm at 6. What's missing? What would take it to 10? No backyard. I mean, would you still want the house built with no backyard, or maybe we should look for something else? No, for that price, I'll take it. Okay, well, it is what it is. You're not going to go any higher than that price. So that's what I'm going to be doing with talking to the listing agent. But sometimes there's a house I'm like, no matter what, we need to get it. And so that's when you go all in. That's when you have a permission from your client to go all in. But again, you have to explain to them, I'm going to be talking to the agent. I'm going to try to convince them to give it to us. I'm going to be promising them that we're going to be solid. Do I have that permission from you? That's how you work with a client. A lot of times the deals fall apart because of unmet expectations, and agents are rushing through the deal and they don't care about the client but their commission check. And that's the reason.